Raising emotionally and spiritually healthy teens can be more than a challenge with the era of social media and in our fast-paced culture. From body image, self-esteem, dating, bullying, parents of teens have their hands full. In today's Living Well, our music guest, Shannon Perry, who just sang to us about telling the story of Jesus, joins us to talk about her book, The Overlooked Generation, Parenting Teens and Tweens in a Complicated Culture. Welcome to Real Life, Shannon. So glad that you are here with us.
I appreciate it so much. It's so good to be with you.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
You're the kind of guest I really like. You come and you sing, talk about a book. Can you preach and teach too?
I was going to say, just do too much, right? Take cooking off the list, though. I can tell you that.
Take cooking off the list.
Oh, I read your book, Overlooked Generation, and it's just a great teaching tool for parents. You know, we are parents of 4 children, but only 2 are teenagers, the rest are young adults. So, but there's just very practical tips in here. It's really awesome. And you were if you wanted to share a little bit too, that you were also a counselor for a number of years too.
Yes, that's actually how this book was written. I actually have a son, but I am not his biological mother. I did not get him until he was 16. He never had a mom. But I was a school teacher and a school counselor for many, many years. I have a master's degree in education. And I just learned so many things that parents were reaching out for, and they were saying, I don't know what to do about talking to them about the way they dress. And so we address that in the book. We talk about things, how parents can let go. For example, in the area of dress, where we say, we get so caught up in the little things sometimes as parents. And I always say, you know, if your kids want to wear Ugg boots to the mall in the middle of the summertime, especially in Texas, you know, just let them go. It's okay. We get caught up in little things, but really parents do have the final say as long as they live under our roof. It's that old thing, you live under my roof, you go by my rules. And so I know one mom that took it as far as saying, you know what, I'll go shopping with you and I'll buy your clothes, but if you can't make good decisions, then we'll have to go back and get something together that you know, we can agree on, because a lot of times they say, well, it's my money, I can buy what I want. But there's just different tips on, even in the book, is parents look at different ways. When kids don't have their own money, they can still say, Mom, I want you to go with me, but when they work, it's a different story.
It sure
and so we address that as well.
You do, and you also, one of the chapters which I thought was really great was on cell phone usage.
Yes.
You know, and electronics, and you even go so far as to have a contract that we all sign, and I thought that was such a brilliant, I mean, you know, it's not that I didn't think about it, but you know, it's like Dawn will tell me that a lot of times my yays are not yays. We talk about it, but I don't put some type of enforcement, and this really would enforces the use of cell phone usage and giving some parameters and making everyone hold accountable.
What's in the contract?
Well, yeah, parameters are very, very important. The first thing that we have to remember as parents, I think that's most important, is that kids don't need to be sleeping with their cell phones. Number one, it's not healthy for them as they sleep. But number two, most parents that have some kind of control over their kids' phones say, look, we got a basket and we can put all of our cell phones in here tonight to charge. But when kids have their cell phones in their bed, we don't think about, they literally have the world at their fingertips. And they have that in their bedroom, the privacy of their bedroom. They can access the internet anytime. So parents can do something as simple as saying, okay, let's all put our phones in a basket. But there are, in the contract, parents have a contract and the teens have a contract. The parents agree, I will pay for your cell phone bill, I will take care of those things, as long as you abide by these rules. And then there's a list of rules. They don't need to be doing anything inappropriate on their phone, and I don't need to go through that. We know what that is. Sexting I cover in there. We're sending inappropriate messages, and that's happening a lot in today's world, unfortunately. It's happening to our kids, and sometimes the most important thing that I found that teens often say is, well, it's my phone, you shouldn't be able to look at my phone. You know, small reminder, I pay your bill. But sometimes they forget that. And so we have to remind them, as long as, again, you're in my house and I have responsibility to oversee your phone, because you now have the world at your fingertips, and I need to see. It's not that I don't trust you, it's that I don't trust what's going on out there in the world, and I don't trust the people that might be sending messages into your phone. And so that's
Absolutely.
another agreement, is that as long as I'm providing this phone for you, and even if I'm not, but you're living under my roof, I do have access to your phone at any time. I can check your messages, I can do those things to make
Right.
sure you're safe. It's a safety
Right.
issue.
Well, and in your book you talk about practical tips, but then you ask, there's questions that you call parent pause, and it helps you address, like, do you see your children, if you're concerned about drug use, or if relationships, a type of friendships, you know, that you ask. There's really good practical questions that, well, if this is what I see, then I need to consider that. And another topic which is really prevalent in schools is bullying.
Bullying is
and
huge.
you know, and that's, you know, that just amazes me how that has really become so widespread.
Yeah, I was bullied as a child, and I know what that feels like. And I know my mom and dad never really had just a practical list of tools to say, if this is happening to your child, one of the most important things I tell parents there is to make sure that their school system, even if they're homeschooled, there is some kind of system in place to let their children know that they're safe. And if it's not, we need to put that in place immediately. But I give tips. Say, for example, if somebody walks up to your child and says, you know, you look really fat today. That's one of the ones I used to get. I would love to say, well, you know what? You can agree with the bully. You can say something like, you know what? Thanks for noticing that I look a little, you know, thanks for calling me fat, and thanks for noticing I look a little overweight today. I appreciate you taking time to, you know, pay attention to me. And it kind of blows them off.
Yeah, I guess
And,
so.
I
like it.
Because a bully is, that's what they do. They want that power. They want that one over. And so also in the book, I address a lot of parent-teen communication. A lot of times our teens shut down. They are talking to their friends. They're not talking to us as parents. And so I give a lot of tips in there as well. As what if my teen won't talk to me? How do I find out what's going on during their day? Something as simple as picking them up from school. Whenever, instead of saying, well, how was your day today? Well, what do we always hear? It was fine, or it was okay. Instead, it's just to say, tell me some things about your day today. But I also cover, there's a tough topic section in the back, and so we look at that as well. Teens are getting pregnant nowadays, out of wedlock. There's just a lot of tough issues that we're dealing with. They don't know, they're having some gender identity. And so even in the book, there are ways to cover it all through God's Word, let me add, the truth of God's Word about each of these topics.
Absolutely, you sure do.
Well, we're so glad you're here to talk to us about it and let us know about your book. If you're interested in knowing more about Shannon's book, we'll put it on our website, ctvn.org, and we'll show you how you can get a copy of it for yourself. Parents and grandparents have it's a tough time to be a parent, especially of teens or tweens, maybe anybody. Boys and girls are different. I know that we have 2 girls, we have 2 boys, so I know it's different dealing with them. They have gender differences. But Cornerstone's committed to this. We want to help our partners, our family, know how to deal with your kids and know how to deal with your grandkids. And God brought you here at a very interesting time, because we're just in the production mode of creating a new program called Today's Girls. This is specifically about girls. How do you deal with your teenage girls, whether you're a granddaughter or whether it's your daughter, in these very interesting topics. So to give them tools, and I think your book is a great tool in that process of helping our family know how to deal with their teens.
And another tool I should have mentioned that I didn't, I teach a mother-daughter conference called In Her Shoes. It goes along with the book I've written called Grace in High Heels, but this is the book I wrote for parents of teens. We have a shoe theme. But mothers and grandmothers are invited to come and listen to the information given for kids ages 12 through 18. And so we also offer a lot of that information in our conferences too.
Awesome.
Grace
That's
in
great.
High Heels.
Is the other book that I have.
Interesting. And you said something earlier, clogs, if they went into the mall wearing
If they wear Ugg
Uggs.
boots, the
Uggs,
big
I
brown
have no idea.
boots, yes, they're
Oh,
the big worn
Ugg
boots. See,
boots.
I live in Texas, and
I
so
see.
whenever you go to the mall, it's usually about 100 degrees, and you see kids in Ugg boots. We just have to pick our battles as parents.
Absolutely,
You know?
that's right.
Well, we're glad you're here, and
Yes,
look forward to
thanks for
learning
coming.
more about how to deal with teens and how to deal with their grandkids. Yes,
You might want to invite her back when you get the
Yeah,
girl,
wouldn't
you
that
know.
be good?
I mean,
love it.
I think she would be great to have as a guest. I have nothing to do with
No, I
that,
think it'd be an
but
awesome
I'm
idea.
just sitting
Awesome.
here
Love it.
thinking, you know, she has so many answers to so many
That's
questions.
right. That sounds great.
well, that would be a
good.
great thing to do. We're glad you're here, and
Thank
we'll
you.
be right
Thank you for
back.
having me.